Hey y'all, I know it's been a minute since I've done a video. However, I wanted to go ahead and drop some gems based on the last events that have been occurring over there on the road.
To work on yourself, you know?
Events. Hey y'all, I know it's been a minute since I've done a video. However, I wanted to go ahead and drop some gems based on the last events that have been occurring over there on the road.
To work on yourself, you know?
Well, I do agree with whoever just said take a break from social media because social media can be extremely draining and it can be.
I'm actually choosing to use certain ones. I'm not going to use the messy ones. I'll talk about it. However, I'm not going to post those. Main thing I hear is the baby screaming.
Draining to your relationship too, you know?
Here,
After draining everybody else, it seems to me that by her body language, her tone, her eyes, she's finally drained herself as well.
Okay,
So
so
don't
I
ever,
think you should. I think you should watch Race and River.
I think so too.
Body language, facial expressions, eye contact can all show signs of deception in one's behavior. Her mother literally did multiple one of these gestures when she answered the question. She repeated it back to Rose, also turned her head, and on social media, usually eye connection is the vulnerabilities point. So, in other words, when she turned her head, she made it to where her eyes were not visible. So she definitely did quite a few of these, and it shows that her behavior was
Yeah,
deceptive.
we don't have to have a conversation on here, but
But
sleep
but
on it,
I
baby.
think
Let me
that
know.
but I think that you should tell me ahead of time because I have work. I'm a real estate broker. I have a life, a career.
Honestly, this is all the reasons why Rose was crying and saying, I wish my mother loved me. Her mother is still in so much denial that she can't even be a grandmother to her own grandchildren and claiming that it has to do because she's so young. It doesn't matter what age you become a grandma. If you're a grandma, you're a grandma.
And not only that, I am a grandma, but I'm a young one. So I'm not like a 60-year-old and
To say that you can't be a grandmother in the right way because you're not 60 is crazy. This is the reason why it's easy for Rose to love her children the way she loves them, because it's obvious that her mother barely loved her. Period, point blank.
all of that. My life was a little different. So I have to know ahead of time and all of that good stuff. Okay. Yes. And that's the name of the book.
Do you see how dark I got?
So did I. Look.
No, honest though, honest.
I believe this was Rose's way of changing the subject because she didn't want to get embarrassed, because those were the weakest reasons of why a woman can't be a grandmother.
Honest. Like, have you been noticing?
Because you in Hawaii.
No.
I very much so seen the lives that happened afterwards where the mom was talking about Rose's childhood. Rose was on a couch or a bed or something, and Brett was sitting on a chair, and they were yelling back and forth. That's when I went live a little bit after. I didn't want to record it because honestly, that was just a moment I felt like didn't need to be in my phone. Because this situation seems like it's getting more and more dangerous, I'm trying my best to speak on it minus provoke it. I do believe that the home is abusive. I do believe this was the moment that everybody was waiting for him to do. It was just more aggressive than anyone thought. She said enough about him online that made others want to see his public record. When she backed up against the cabinets and was like, don't get near me, don't come by me, I believe that was all real. Which leads me into the live that they just posted this morning.
Because we own our house. So if he wanted to just decorate it, just ho, 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 he could do that.
In this live, she pretty much said how it's hard for her to apologize, but she found a way to do so with Brett, triggering things like this.
What's next? Here. She said Brett punched a hole in a wall. He did.
Now, I know things can be frustrating. However, that's more of a temperament of an immature young adult, not a grown man, that one that is parenting 4 young boys. No matter what the reason is, he's teaching them how to be destructive, how to have no control of their temper. Not to mention the way he looks at her when she says it. I believe some things that happen in the household are very deep, and I think Brett really doesn't want it to be aired out. I feel like that's the reason why it blew up the other night, because she was airing out too much of their personal business on a public platform.
Now that he did. I'm not gonna just get on here completely like, yeah, he punched a hole in the wall before. He's stronger than he realizes sometimes, I do believe. Hey,
Being strong and not having control over your temper is a number one way a lot of these people end up snapping.
stand up, baby. Stand up.
Didn't have nobody.
But guess what? If we wanted to decorate our house with 20 holes in the wall,
It's also very condescending to say you can do something like that just because you own it. It's teaching the boys that they can damage things they own. Pretty much all the things that they're learning is toxicity at this point. Because she also spoke on her mother and how she haven't even heard from her in months.
my mom has a book that she is trying to release. And I was so shocked the other day when I did a live. My mom hasn't talked to me in months. So to
Now, see, if you were on my live directly after these things happened, you heard me say that I believe that the mom was just trying to promote her book. After seeing all the commotion from these channels and the views they were getting from Rose, she was like, hey, let me get my little 1-2s in. Literally have not met her youngest grandson, yet you get on here talking about a book and an engagement. This is exactly why Rose finds it hard to put her boys as first priority, because her mom didn't put her as one.
put me on your live, put me on your live. And then I put her on my live. And then after I put her on my live, I looked and I realized she has a new YouTube channel with.
We literally discussed this. It was very obvious what the mom was doing. I think Rose, like she said, she really just wants a mom.
A lot of sense why she hasn't met my baby. We haven't talked in months. And randomly she's like, hey, put me on your live. It makes sense. But, however, I'm always excited whenever, because I want a mom real bad.
So she pretty much just put a stamp of approval on what I was saying. In my opinion, I thought that some of her abuse stems from her mother and possibly the people that raised her, because usually if you carry childhood trauma, it came from the adults that brought you up. When you become an abuser, it's usually because you were a victim and you learned those behaviors from the abuser. So she may not think that what she's doing is so bad because it isn't in the same shape, form, or fashion as her mother. Unfortunately, the things that they're doing, like punching holes in walls for decoration, is going to lead the boys to end up needing the same thing, love from somebody, because it wasn't given at home. Thank you. You guys have a great day.